There's a fish. There's a fish. There's a fish. Come on. Come on. Oh, come on, little buddy. What's up, everybody? Guess what? Got a haircut. Actually, take it back. I got a bunch of hairs cut. It's a lot more worth it if you do that, because as much as you pay for a haircut nowadays, you might as well cut more than one. Anyhow, hey, you know what? New haircut, new fish. That's my theme for this moment. I don't know if it's going to work. So we got a ton of rain, and right now it's like 47, 48 degrees maybe for a high. So it's only like 10:52 in the morning. So we're probably around 43, 44. Anyhow, that being said, it's going to get really cold here in the next couple of weeks. They're like showing some single-digit temperatures for lows and some teens for the highs. And so with all that being said, I think I want to just try to take advantage of this last really nice day. Well, here we are. We got a chartreuse 16th ounce jig head with an underspin on it, a little minnow, 2-inch minnow, 5-foot ultralight moderate action rod. It's a St. Croix Premier, and I've got the LT 1000 Legalis D reel, 6-pound fluorocarbon line, really light setup, makes it crappie fishing pretty fun. Went with the chartreuse and white because got some really stained water here from all this rain that we've had lately. So I'm not sure how active these fish are going to be. I wish I could cast this thing a little further. That's my one complaint with this ultralight rod, is that it's just such a noodle. It doesn't have enough backbone to send it out real far. Now if I could put heavier baits on, but then I'm just going to break off and not be able to hook set and stuff if I do that. So what's nice though about coming down here is I've got the sun in my face, so that'll help keep my hands warm because my hands will be exposed to the sun. And right now I'll take any warmth I can get. It is chilly. So I'll just work my way back up and fish my way back up to where we came from. I brought a bunch of different rods and stuff down, but I don't think I'm going to worry about swapping baits and stuff. I'm going to just work with this because honestly, for crappie, like if they're going to eat, they'll eat this. Bass, they'll eat this too. And believe it or not, last year I was catching catfish over here with these little jigs and underspins. Oh boy, here's a fish. We might have found them finally. We might have finally found them. Yeah, man, that was a very light bite. Look at that little beauty. Thank you for biting. Not a bad looking one. Definitely not super fat, but not too skinny either. All right, bud. Thank you. That was a bit of a grind, guys. I've worked my way all the way down from there, and I walked all the way down to the end where it curves over, and finally got a bite right here. So maybe there's a school of them here. I want to spend some time in this spot. That was such a subtle little bite. Yeah, there's nothing aggressive about these bites whatsoever. There we go. Very light bites. And they're hitting it from the back. They're not side swiping it or nothing like that. They are just straight up hitting it from the back. That's a tiny little crappie, guys. Dude, he must have been born not too awful long ago, this past spring, I reckon. I don't know. I have no idea on size of fish. That might be a 5-year-old fish for all I know. Sorry again about the wind. Still don't have a microphone. It just is what it is. I'm trying to keep the wind in my back, so by fishing back this way, I'm keeping the wind at my back, but I know it's still a pain, so Sorry about that. Oh, that one thumped it good. Finally, an aggressive bite. First one of the day. Yep, you were barely hooked, and that's why, if you guys are wondering why I come up here out of the rocks every time I catch a fish. That fish falling off like he did right there. Come on now, where'd you go? That's the reason I do that. I can't tell you how many fish I've caught and then they end up falling off because I'm using an ultralight and don't get really good hook sets. They fall right off of there and right down into the rocks where I can't find them. Or it takes forever to find them. So I just figure, you know what, if I get one on, I'm gonna go right on up to the grass, and that way we just avoid that little problem. Thanks for the bite, buddy. Oh, it's a cold bite, but they're biting. Okay, you know what, that's how you don't cast. If you close your bail before your bait gets out there, yeah, it causes problems. How many thousands of casts have I made, and I still do goofy things like that sometimes. These are the typical really tiny fish, or tiny crappie that we get here. I'll never catch a big crappie out of this lake. Once in a blue moon, but it's really rare. There's a fish. Oh, you're a fighter too. Yeah. Alright, wiggle and fall off. Oh, he's caught good up in the nose. He ain't falling off. He's gonna have the opposite problem. It'll be a hard one to get out. There we go. Not bad. Yeah, these guys are all like 9 to 10 inch crappie. They're very consistent. But you know what? That's better than no crappie at all. It's wild to me how much this lake has filled up in the last 2 days. I mean, I'm talking feet of water have come in from that rain that we had. And that's why I'm here at the lake and not at a creek. All my creeks and rivers are just chocolatey milk and washed out so bad. There's no way those fish would really be able to see these little lures. I could go in with some big swim baits and see if I can get some big bass to hit. I thought about doing that, but I just figured my chances were a little bit better here catching some crappie versus doing the creeks. And I've been in the creeks for the last few days and it's been fun. I've been catching fish. In fact, I caught more fish. I caught quite a few. I went out fishing with my parents the other day. We were just bridge hopping and I caught quite a few bass and a pretty big creek chub too out of one spot, but I didn't do any filming. I was just hanging out with them. So I have been on some fish lately. It's just been taking a lot of traveling, a lot of work, and it's like, oh, there's a fish. 1 or 2 fish here or there kind of thing. There we go. Okay, we have a white crappie. I haven't really been paying attention, but with the white crappie, you can see these bars that go down the side. And that's white crappie. When it's just sporadic speckles, those are your black crappie. And my brother-in-law just texted me, asked me if I caught anything. He must have just drove by and saw my Mustang there. Yeah, Zane, I'm catching them, buddy. So this is, my eyes were not playing tricks on me earlier. The wind just happened to pick up after I walked down there earlier when I mentioned the water being more calm down that way. I've seen it again, and it's actually calmed down right here. I'm in a nice little calm pocket right there. Oh, there was a bite. Okay, awesome. But yeah, I'm in a nice little calm pocket right here, and I wonder, I like to always fish, like, if you see that and you can reach out to where the water is blowing, like on the surface, I'm casting right where that wind separates the calm water from the rough water. Now, the wind is relatively inconsistent, so it's not like a foolproof thing, but what I notice is a lot of the times you can find fish in that little separation there. It's almost like, I don't know if the wind's just blowing things around, so they kind of stage here right in the calm water and wait for something to blow to them, or what the whole deal is. But I mean, to me that seems logical, but I couldn't tell you exactly what it is, other than it's consistent. That's why I was chasing this calm water, or chasing a place where I could meet where the calm water meets the more rough water. Just that way I had something to go off of. So, you know, there's no trees sticking out of the water here to target. There's no current to target. So, oh, there's a fish though, right there. So any little thing that I can find that's going to make some kind of separation, whether it's dark water to white to lighter water, that'll tell you something about that structure underneath, or the depth of the water it's changing, or something. So you just always want to target anything, any change you can see in the water. Thank you, little guy. Another white crappie. I think they've all been white crappie so far. I haven't paid attention until just recently, but there's nothing really significantly different that I can think of that would make me think the other ones were any different than what I'm catching in these last two. But here we go. The nice thing about the sun being out is that's keeping it just warm enough. Like, my hand's cold, my one finger's about numb, but it's not quite. It's keeping it just warm enough to where I don't have to keep stopping to put my hands in my pocket. I've been able to consistently fish today. Oh my goodness. He smoked it right there at the end. Another white crappie. We found them all. We definitely are on them. Here you go, buddy. Look how bright, shiny, and pretty they are, though. Definitely cool looking fish. See you, dude. This will probably be my last fishing trip of the year. There's another one. That's a good one, or it's fighting good. Yep, that's a nicer one. Hey, you're at least a 10.5 incher. And if you'd settle down, I'd get that hook out of there for you. That's a nicer one. Oh yeah. That's a pretty crappie right there. For here, you're not going to catch many bigger than that. I mean, they're in there, but there's so many of them, and I think that's really what the problem is. I think there's just too many in this lake. So they don't really get that big, but that's a really good sized crappie for this lake. Live long and prosper, bud. Well, guys, we've about worked all the way back up to the car almost. Still getting some bites. So, oh man, yep. That's a loose rock. Gotta watch those. Oh, there's a bite. Yeah, let's just give me a bite as I'm falling down and all kinds of messed up. No, that's cool. The fish have been pretty consistent. There at first, I didn't think I was going to get any. I just started fishing down there and wasn't getting any bites or anything, but it was also pretty windy and I was having trouble getting my line or my bait out. But so I worked way down, started catching them pretty consistently, and ever since then, it's like they've been pretty consistent all the way through this rock wall. And I'm almost back up to where I started, where I wasn't catching them earlier. So I don't know if I was just doing something wrong or time of day, or maybe the fish moved a little bit. Couldn't say for sure, but either way, I'm glad we got on them, and we got us a few today. Not too bad for December 30th. Tomorrow's New Year's Eve, and I'm going to be going into 2025. I doubt I'll get this video made before the new year, but you know, I'm looking forward to it. Excited to see what God's got in store for us. Just trust Him with whatever His plan is. Our circumstances fluctuate, and that's difficult. You know, it's hard to think about that. I hate thinking about the negative things that can happen and do happen. It's more fun to think of the positives, but even with all of those, God is still good. His character does not change, even though our circumstances do. He remains the same. And we can trust Him and rely on Him and His sovereignty and consistency. And that's, man, I tell you what, guys, that's where my hope is. And that's where the only hope really is in Jesus Christ alone. And I hope you can understand that and have the peace that I do and that other believers in Christ have. Without it, man, I just wouldn't be able to make it through this life with any sense of peace whatsoever. I honestly wouldn't. I'm not just saying that to say that. I'm not being a Bible thumper or nothing. I'm just telling you the truth for what it is. And I'm so glad that I know Jesus and I've got a friend in Him, even though I don't deserve Him. And His blood was shed for you too, and for everybody who repents of their sins. That is to turn away from them, knowing that we're still going to mess up along the way, but having a genuine sorrow for your sin and turning away from them and trusting in Jesus and what He did on the cross. That's where salvation lies, is in the blood of Christ that He shed as a sacrifice to cover our sins and pay the penalty that really we should have been paying. But our debt is paid in full because of what He did on the cross, so that way we can have peace and hope. And tell you what, I enjoy catching these fish a lot more, having that peace and hope, knowing that, oh, there's a fish, knowing that it's rooted in Him and not in myself. If I had to rely on myself for hope and peace and all the other, I wouldn't have any. I just wouldn't. I don't have all the answers. But I can trust the one who created me does have all the answers. Look at that beautiful fish. It's a tiny one. Yeah, it's one of the smaller ones of the day. Oh, let's see here. Speaking of that, abide in me and I in you, as the branch cannot bear fruit by itself unless it abides in the vine. Neither can you unless you abide in me. I am the vine. It's our verse of the day. Well, I'm back to my other fishing rods there, so this is going to be the last cast. See if we can pick one out on the way out. And then I don't know what I'm going to get into. But it's my last free, really nice day before they're talking single digits in January coming, so I think I'm going to grab a gun and do some kind of hunting. But man, what a blessing this was. We had a good time today. I did. Hopefully y'all did too. Well, everybody, it's going to be the end of the line for this trip. Hope you enjoyed this video. You can feel free to like and subscribe it if you want to. I don't mention that very often, and here's why. Because that's, to me, when I watch a video, that it really gets, it's cliche and it gets kind of annoying when I hear that. But my biggest thing that I want you to know about that is if you do subscribe and hit the notification bell, that will give you a notification on your YouTube account if you have an actual account, which you have to have in order to like and subscribe anyhow. But that'll give you a notification whenever I drop a new video. So if you enjoy these videos and you want to be aware of when I put a new video out, then that's how you do that. And, I mean, you could always just search my account too, but if you forget my name or anything like that, then that'd be hard or difficult to do. So if you get the notifications, then that will just let you know whenever I put a new video out. And you know, it does ultimately help me. It'll get me closer to being paid from YouTube, but I don't get paid. Okay, I'm this big. When it comes to the YouTube world, I'm a nobody. I do this because I enjoy it, and I do this because I want you guys to be able to come along and enjoy, you know, whatever adventure I get into this day. And if you're not able to fish anymore, or you would just like to more than you can, or anything of that nature, or you're in a different part of the country or the world, so what I'm able to do here is different than what you can do, and you just find interest in that, then that's awesome. Yeah, that's what I do. I subscribe to all kinds of people on YouTube because they can do some things that I can't, and I'm like, man, that's really cool. I just want to enjoy that. Like, simply, that's it. The joy that God has allowed me to get out of this stuff has been really fun. And you know, it's a blessing to me. As soon as it's not that anymore, then I probably won't do it anymore. I have no plans to quit, but I want it to be really relaxed, and I want you guys to have fun and as you tag along and not feel the pressure. But I do want you to know that that's how you can get notifications as far as whenever I drop a new video. I honestly, like I said, I do not get paid from YouTube. I'm not close to being that big yet. I think I only have like 200 and something subscribers, and I'm pretty sure I need 1,000 before I can even get my first like paycheck. And I'm pretty sure that's nickels and pennies. Like, I don't know, I literally know nothing about it because that's not what I'm in this for. That being said, if it were to ever happen and God did allow that to be, you know, what brings me in an income, like, that would be super incredible too. I'm not going to sit here and lie and say, oh, that would really stink. No, I think that would be fantastic. And if I could really make a ministry out of this and be an encouragement to people and enjoy it myself, like, frankly, I am very passionate about this stuff. I'm not very passionate about certain other things in life that I have to do to make a paycheck. So it's like, I'm not going to be bummed if this were to take off, but that's not my intent right now. And if that changes, I'll let you guys know. But hope you guys enjoyed today, and stay warm out there. It's going to start getting really cold here at the turn of the year. So God bless you all. I'll see you next time, and thanks for watching. About to stick a whopper plopper on this thing just so I can keep it above the ground, or above the water. As ridiculous as that sounds, I'm half tempted. There's a fish. There's a fish. There's a fish. Come on. Come on. Oh, come on, little buddy. Come on, little buddy. Oh, dude. Okay, I gotta tighten this drag. I don't know how it got so loose, but it did. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Guys, we got one. We finally got one. Yes. Oh, yes. Oh my goodness. We finally got it. And I can't believe that thing didn't get off of there. Barely hooked. Here we go. Just a little ditch pickle, but we'll take it. Thank you, buddy. That action on that minnow though looks good. This one's got a little paddle tail. I like that paddle tail more than the regular straight tail. Even with the underspin, it just gives it a little bit more action. There's a fish. A rock bass. Okay. That is not at all what I expected. But that's sweet. Yes, sir. I'll take it. Man, that thing's gold looking. You guys probably can't see it too good. There's a pretty picture. Sorry. My phone does that whole pause for 3 seconds thing to take a picture when it gets dark. Wow, that's cool. I don't know whether you guys can see him or not. Just a pretty little rock bass. Thanks for the bite, my friend.